Long before people spoke of success in terms of money or titles, the elders used to say that a person's fate is shaped first in the quiet corners of the mind. What a man believes himself to be, he becomes. What he accepts as his place, he rarely escapes. This truth had been whispered through generations, yet few truly listened to it. In an old eastern town, where stone walls still guarded memories of another age, there stood a weathered gate through which everyone passed. Merchants with heavy bags, workers with tired hands, travelers with restless eyes, all crossed that same threshold. And beside the gate, day after day, sat a man named Ethan. Ethan was known to everyone as the beggar by the gate. His hair had long turned gray, his coat thin from years of wear. He survived on small coins dropped into his bowl, given more out of habit than kindness. He never asked for much, and he never expected more. In his mind, this was simply who he was. Some people were born to build, others to command, and some, like him, were born to ask. One cold afternoon, as rain tapped softly against the stone, a traveler stopped before Ethan. The man wore a simple gray coat and carried a leather notebook tucked under his arm. He did not look rich nor poor, only thoughtful. As Ethan reached out his hand, the traveler did something unexpected. He did not place a coin in the bowl. Instead, he asked calmly, "In all these years you've sat here, have you ever given something to anyone?" The question struck deeper than any insult. Ethan opened his mouth, then closed it again. He had no answer. Before he could speak, the traveler nodded once and walked on, disappearing through the gate. No coin, no lecture, just a question left hanging in the air. That night, Ethan did not sleep. The words echoed in his mind, louder than the passing wagons or the distant bells. Give something? He had always believed he had nothing to give. Wasn't that the reason he begged in the first place? Yet the question would not let him rest. By morning, his bowl remained untouched. For the first time in years, Ethan did not return to his spot by the gate. Days passed. The town moved on without noticing his absence. On the third day, as Ethan wandered the market with no purpose, he saw a young girl selling dried apples from a small wooden crate. Her name was Lucy, a quiet orphan known for her gentle manners. Many passed without buying, yet she greeted each one with a warm smile and a simple wish for a good day. Curious, Ethan asked her why she smiled even when people walked away. She shrugged and said, "I may not have much, but I can still offer a kind word. It costs nothing." Those words settled into Ethan's heart. If a child with so little could still give something, what excuse did he have? That evening, Ethan remembered his younger years when he had known how to read and write. He recalled old sayings he once loved, lines that spoke of courage, patience, and dignity. Gathering scraps of wood from behind abandoned stalls, he carefully carved short messages into them, words meant to steady a weary soul. The next morning, Ethan returned to the gate, but not as before. When someone placed a coin in his hand, he offered a small carved piece of wood in return. At first, people hesitated. Then one man smiled and accepted it. Another stopped to read the words aloud. Something changed. Faces softened. Conversations began. By the end of the day, Ethan noticed something remarkable. People were no longer giving out of pity. They were exchanging. And for the first time in his life, he felt seen. Weeks passed, and the gate felt different. The same road, the same walls, but Ethan was no longer the same man. One afternoon, the traveler in the gray coat returned. This time, Ethan did not hold out his hand. He simply said, "If you'd like, I have something worth trading." The traveler studied him for a moment, then smiled. He handed Ethan a coin and accepted a carved message. After reading it, he said quietly, "You are no longer a beggar. You are a man who creates value." Those words sealed what had already begun. Soon after, Ethan left the gate behind. He traveled from town to town, sharing his work, his words, and eventually his story. Years later, in a modest roadside inn, two men sat at the same table. One was a seasoned merchant, the other a traveling bookseller with calm eyes and steady hands. As they spoke, recognition slowly dawned. They laughed, not as a rich man and a poor man, but as equals. "I was never meant to beg," Ethan said softly. "I only believed I was." And so the old truth proved itself once more. When the mind changes, life follows. If this story spoke to you in any way, take a moment and share your thoughts with us. What lines stayed in your mind the longest? Or what lesson did you take from Ethan's journey? Leave a comment below. We read every one of them. If you found value in this story, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. More timeless stories, quiet lessons, and meaningful tales are waiting for you in the next video.